Hello viewers, so looking at a bit of, what are we in? The Benetton 95 at Monaco. I think this is when David Coulthard created another of his famous pile-ups into turn one. Cracking pile-ups David Coulthard created over the years, or maybe that would, yes, that would have been this year, that 95 I believe. One of his absolute winners, burnout winners, and we're racing round. One of the things I did notice on this as well, do unplug your game controller. I have an Xbox game controller plugged into my PC. Do unplug that when you're using the wheel. It can cause some instability in the wheel, so check that out. What can we say about this? I struggled a bit with this car on this track. Why am I struggling? Like, you see there, the opposite lock there? Every time I come out of a corner and I get on the throttle, no matter how lightly I get on the throttle, I get some oversteer and I need to opposite lock with some correction, and I was finding it very difficult to drive. I had to go extra slow through the chicane, and then you combine that with the understeer. I had no confidence. I could not put the car where I wanted to there, always understeering into the swimming pool there, and I just couldn't keep up. So a lot of practice required, but I didn't feel one with the car at all. And it's funny, when I was racing around Monza, I got into a rhythm with it. But when I'm racing around Monaco, I find that the power issue again, I don't know if we see it here so much, but there's a little bit. Every time I get on the power, I'm somebody who doesn't tend to need too much opposite lock into a corner. I tend to push the car wider with the throttle. If I'm getting needing to put an opposite lock, getting an oversteer, probably that means I'm getting on the power too quickly, so you've got to back off. You can see I'm much quicker through that section than the AI. Then they pull away from me, and I just couldn't get the car in there. You see, it was just understeering all the way for me. So wasn't fully understanding how to. Basically, what happens is you drive round and then you think, I'm slow, I need to be faster. How can I be faster? So you try taking more speed through corners until you cross the limit, and you're saying, well, clearly that's not working. So this was a matter of tippy-toeing and following the cars in front. And no doubt with lots of practice you'll absolutely nail it. And I mean, I am hitting some of these curves, but isn't it weird how it feels a lot worse when I'm driving than when I'm watching it back? But I wasn't comfortable at all. You can see the opposite lock through there and get up there. Oh, all over the place trying to get a hold of this. In terms of no comment runs, what cars and tracks would you guys like to see? Now these can only be sort of short-ish videos, so I can't do full race distances, anything like that, but do let me know what cars and combinations you'd like to see. You know, Monaco is always a great challenge. You need to really do a lot of laps here to get your head around the circuit, and it never stops being a challenge. You're always needing to push that bit harder and get closer to the apexes to find that bit more time. It's a risk-reward circuit in that way, but then on the other hand it's always very difficult to overtake, and it makes you wonder whether Monaco is a circuit that needs to be modernised. Wouldn't it be great if the circuit was expanded to go around the other half of Monaco slightly more, and that would create some longer straights and some potential overtaking areas? Certainly with the reconstruction of Monaco now, it would be good to see them consider to make changes to the track like that. I feel like the track as it is has been, you know, great over the years in terms of what it's been there for, and the feeling and the vibe, but it really does seem to me now that without damaging any of the course, you could add a bit more to it. For those of you that don't really know, you sort of go up the hill here, so we'll just go around here and into Casino Square, past the Hotel de Paris, and then down the hill past a nice Italian food joint, down to the Fairmont hairpin, And Fairmont Hotel there, it's nice in there as well. And then we come round. Now this is where, instead of doing a right, you do a left. Do a left there. Okay, that takes you down to a place called the SAS Bar. That's where all of the guys with loads of money in their cars. I say guys with loads of money. You find there's a lot of guys in Monaco who pretend to have loads of money. They rent a Ferrari and they race it around Monaco for the weekend, trying to show off at the bars, but they're not as rich as they like to make out. And they just do a lot of burnouts and often crash their cars as well. Police do have a keen eye on them though. If they can't drive, they'll be all over you. As I'm still struggling with that swimming pool. But there's a long road down there, and that takes you down to Monte Carlo Convention Centre. And I think it'd be great to have a fast straight down to there, and then perhaps turn around and then work your way back. Well, and I think that would add a nice long straight with a heavy braking zone, which could add some additional overtaking opportunities, and that could make a real difference on the circuit, on the setup. So when you've got a high-speed straight where the overtaking is, you might want to lose a bit of downforce on the rest of the circuit because it's harder to overtake. Who knows? Add a bit more to it. Not that anyone from Monte Carlo will ever listen to anything I have to say on any of these videos, but it would be nice. It would be nice if somebody considered doing something like that and using it, because these cars cover an enormous amount of ground in a short space of time. And to add a high-speed section onto the course, it would add an extra 20 seconds to the lap. But that would make all the difference in terms of, just potential excitement of Monte Carlo. I mean, obviously we've got the new cars coming in 2022, and we want to get rid of DRS. DRS needs to go, but a lot of the electronics need to go. I keep saying it. They're not going to go, and I think. But until they do, you're just not. The real drivers aren't going to be able to come to the surface. You can't. A driver doesn't bring much to the car these days. Very little, in fact, if anything. If you've got good engineers and you've got lots of power in your car, you're going to win. But my goodness, that race is over, and that ends my conversation as well. I'm going to have to ramble another day on another F1 video. Do let me know, viewers, what you'd like to see. Do like and subscribe to the channel, and there'll be more from me very soon.
Incredible Grand Prix weekend. Our top three finishers should be incredibly happy with what they were able to achieve out there today.
Hello viewers, well thanks for watching the video today. Do like and subscribe, it supports what we do. Do become a YouTube member. YouTube Patreon supports all of our content you see on the channel, and of course lots of gaming from retro to modern games. I love it all in terms of racing action. So click on one of the two videos just there to find out more.